Welcome to Chelsea and Tony Live. Unfortunately, we couldn't actually be live because of streaming problems, but we're going to premiere this episode. So if you're watching the premiere, Tony and I will be in the comments with you. If you submitted your photo, that's great. We're going to be reviewing whatever photo today. It's an anything goes show.
Yeah, we'll take a look at some pictures right away. I want to say this probably isn't going to be our regularly scheduled time. We just missed y'all. We know a lot of people are stuck at home, as are we, and we thought we'd hang out for a little bit.
I'm overwhelmed and bored. I wanted to look at some pictures.
What about this little puppy?
This is so cute. You know what I love? I love the natural framing of the legs, which also tells a story. It's just so sweet.
Yeah.
In a really affectionate moment and still a very, very cute picture.
Yeah, that's a great picture. A little catchlight in the eyes. I'll give you a pic.
Let's see. I love the panning in this one, Jason. Really good. I don't even think you need editing. I love to edit photos on the show, but this is nice. It gives you a little slice of life. It's too bad this guy in the background is there, but still very good.
Yeah, great shot. How about this from Siddharth?
Siddharth.
I can see that's like a trolley in the foreground, but it's so blurred you almost can't make it out.
Yeah, but you know what? I like how unbalanced this photo is. And I love the guy's thoughtful pose. I don't know, Siddharth, you broke rules, but I like it.
Great shot.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, I feel like we need to see more of the face on this one, right? And we could do that maybe by raising the shadows some. Or you could be a little more selective about it and actually use your brush.
Yeah, the radial filter, but I think just raising the shadows did a lot for the photo.
Yeah, it can be a tough exposure when the background is in full sunlight like that.
Yeah, that is a tough situation. And then also I might more deliberately put him in the photo because he kind of looks like he photobombed you a little bit, but he's a really cute part of the picture and he's not in focus. So maybe just make that deliberate choice. Is he the subject? He should be, then he should be in focus and he should be balanced better within the photo.
You could even use a higher f-stop. F8 is pretty good, but because you have something so close and something so far, that's my dog scratching the rug. She does this every live show, so it's part of our tradition. You could be at f16 easily, and it would improve the overall sharpness of the image.
I think we both changed photos at the same time. Joe Tompkins, I like the light trails. That's interesting. I can see the bus, would they go over a bump or something? Look at the way it trailed.
Yeah. I bet somebody stepped off the bus, or maybe it kneeled a little bit to let somebody out.
Yeah. Interesting photo.
Good night shot, 6 seconds.
Okay. I like the composition of this shot, and I like the shot itself. I think the processing, changing the processing a bit would really help. So don't be afraid to brighten a photo. I know sometimes you lose the colors in a sunrise or sunset when you brighten the photo a bit, but it looks so much cleaner. So if we look at the before and after, the before colors, they can get a little bit muddy or oversaturated looking, and then you can just raise the exposure and you'll get a more natural look.
Let me drive for 1 second, and I'll say, if you reset the exposure here, you can look at the histogram and just see that this whole right side is empty. And that's a good clue that the picture's just overall a little bit underexposed. That might be a little too far.
Yeah.
Next picture. Cannot pronounce your name.
Cool. I like the birds. I like having the silhouettes of the people. Okay, so one thing that I would change about this, and this is just a universal photography trick, you want subject separation. So if you had waited until this guy moved, then you would get a perfect silhouette of this woman. And same here, if you waited until he moved, you'll get a perfect silhouette of this woman and the photo would look much cleaner. You could edit them out, it might be a bit challenging. Sometimes I'll even wait until the person in the foreground is just covering the person in the background. Just take a lot of photos and then choose the one with the best subject separation. You got to get just that right moment.
And by the way, if the camera switching sucks, it's because I'm working doing all of it here. There's too much for me to concentrate on. So
Well-
it's going to be a little mediocre. But like I said, we just wanted to be back with
You know
y'all.
what? Sometimes life is a little mediocre. That's okay.
Life is worse than mediocre right now.
This photo is beautiful. What a gorgeous lighting, gorgeous composition. I like the way that you chose to process the photo. I think it's really cool. I think you chose an appropriate depth of field. Like, I love everything you did about this photo. I'm going to give it 5 stars.
What about warming it up a little? Am I crazy?
Well, I think they made a deliberate choice. That's why I thought it was good, Emilio.
Okay.
But
it is
warm,
very
it
good.
looks nice warm too.
All right. How about this from Simon?
This is a relatable picture, forest fashion.
I think this is really cool. He got right in there and kind of crammed himself to fill up the frame. I love the vignetting, which really draws your eye towards the subject. Yeah, I'm going to give
Wait.
that one a pick.
Is this person like throwing up gang signs on our show? What is this, some forest ranger gang? Like, what is happening right now?
Oh, God, we're going to find out that means something terrible.
Okay, if that means something terrible, I'm sorry, I'm not a part of it. I don't know what that is. Okay. Once someone said someone put like a white supremacist symbol on our show and I had no idea. And then I was like, what? Why would you guys do this to us? Stop it. Be not like that. Okay,
this
Lost
is
in Time.
Oslo. I think this is the best long exposure shot we've seen so far. I think it's really cool. I love the symmetrical composition with the long lines being used to draw your eye to the center of the frame. I kind of wish something
Was here. That's what
was
I was
in the
gonna say.
middle.
I need a
Yeah.
payoff. I wish this guy was here or there was someone standing still here, but I think you did a good job at what you did, but do it again. Maybe you can find a stronger subject.
Great shot.
Don, this little guy is real cute.
Yeah, this is really cute. I
Birds.
wouldn't even hate cropping this a little bit.
Oh, really?
harder,
That
right?
is really-
I know you're
that's-
gonna be shocked.
I'm
but
shocked.
I feel like this is a nice and sharp shot, and we don't necessarily need so much background in there. So let's just
Wow.
pull it in a little tighter.
Surprising, unexpected. These are the words that come to mind. It's
But,
really cute.
Yeah, that's a
Really
really
cute.
detailed shot. Nice work. Oh,
Foggy,
big- lots of
moody.
mood.
I think I would have just got in front of this one dead part, but it's still a really cool photo. I want to just peek. I want to see what's going on here. Beautiful. Oh my gosh, that's cute. There's a little there's no whites in the photo, so I'm gonna raise that a little bit.
What do you think about the tilt on the horizon?
Let's see.
Is it far enough to be deliberate, or should it be straightened out?
Well, it may give a candid look, we can see. I think it put a little movement into the photo.
Yeah, so compositionally, a substantial and deliberate tilt can be called a Dutch tilt. But it has to I think it has to be more than 5 degrees. I think you need to be looking at more like 20 degrees or 30 degrees. Because otherwise it looks accidental. I want to keep those birds in the left on there.
I feel like if we change the processing, this can suddenly become a horror film with the Dutch tilt. And why did the Dutch get credit for that anyway? Okay. Peter.
That's good, because the only other thing they're known for is not getting the bill.
Okay, Tony, that was rude. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. All right, very wide angle. I like the color contrast. You have this yellow building and the blue sky. I think that's pretty cool. I might even raise that sky and lower the highlights a little bit. I kind of like the extreme composition, but I wish you had more space at the top of the building.
Yeah, it's too close.
But you could very easily do that in Photoshop. So just make your canvas bigger on the top and then do a content-aware fill, and that will balance your photo better. I think it's pretty cool. I like this photo. Whoa, nomadic ambiance.
I like this a lot.
Pick.
Um,
Creative.
yeah, awesome shot. Maybe even more contrast to it, but I think that's super cool. Nicely
Yeah.
done.
Aw, cute. I like the styling of this photo. And I like that you picked a nice clean background. The only thing that I would change is that there's no light in her face. And her face is certainly the most important part of the photo. And you can do that with a radial filter. and just select for her face.
Yeah, this is such a common problem that I made a video titled "Stop Underexposing Your Portraits," and it just has to do with the way that some camera meters don't detect faces. Some modern cameras do, and they'll expose properly.
Okay.
But it's a great shot, and part of the problem with this particular shot is she's wearing this white dress,
Yeah.
and it's so bright that it's stealing all the attention from her face. So you just have to really make sure the exposure is nailed, and maybe bring down the highlights on that dress a little bit.
Yeah, so you can see in the before and after. Before, the brightest part of the photo is the dress at her knees. It still is in the after, but at least her face, the exposure is brought up, so that's the first thing that you're looking at. But yeah.
Great shot.
This
Okay,
is
Patrick.
interesting. I like your processing. It feels a little spooky. It reminds me of that movie Midsummer or something. Very interesting. Oh.
I don't like that the sky is gray here. The sky was clearly blown out, and I think Patrick compressed the image to kind of flatten it, but I don't know. I'm bugged by the gray skies. Yeah, I'd want to clip the skies and have them just be white. I don't know. It feels so low contrast to me.
Oh.
I might also do a little posing work. Like he's got something in his hand, but I can't see what it is, and I don't think it's adding to the story. But I think the subject is so cool. Having him stand maybe a little further to the left and really pointing at that would make like a popular Instagram shot.
I like this photo. I'm going to give it 5 stars. I think we disagree. Do you want to go to our slides?
Yes.
I don't know how to do that, so I'm leaving that to you. Okay, so today we usually do the news, but I wanted to share some good news, Tony. So I found some not so related stories to share with our audience that made me feel good today. So I figured the wildlife photographers would love this one. This is my dream since I was a girl. A man befriended crows. So this guy, Stuart Dahlquist, he had crows in his backyard that he loved observing, and one day 2 babies fell from the nest. So he did what a good person does. He picked them up, he put them back in the nest, and meanwhile all the crows were squawking at him. And he put them back safely, and then he put food and water at the bottom of the tree. Well, the crows were so moved by this gesture that they actually developed a relationship with him, and they left him presents. So on his Twitter, he left a picture of these spruce twigs with can tabs threaded onto them. And he says that the crows made these. We've been feeding a small family of 4 crows for several years. Last week, 2 days in a row, they left these gift pull tabs threaded onto pine twigs.
That is really cool.
And
it's cool coming from a crow. If anybody else gave it to you, you'd be really disappointed.
You'd be like, thanks. Do you have a gift receipt? He said, they'll follow along when I take my walks, landing on the wires along the way. The adult male is very amiable and will fly sometimes within a few feet, swooping by to say, hey, I'm here. And I've heard of this behavior before, people feeding crows and then the crows responding by leaving little gifts, usually shiny things like pieces of metal. That is so cool.
Smart little dinosaurs.
And this is from goodnewsnetwork.org. There's more good news there. Another good news story from goodnewsnetwork.org. For the wildlife photographers, blue whales are returning to Antarctica. So for 60 years, we had whaling there. They were almost completely extinct. But since, they've made a huge resurgence. So in 2018, a research mission recorded only 1 sighting of the whales. But this year, they saw 36 sightings totaling 55 individual whales. So that's great news. If you love taking pictures of whales, I've seen a lot of people post them in our group. This is great news for you. The population is coming back. They're healthy. Little good news in the world.
Awesome. Are we back to reviewing photos?
We're back. That's it. I got
All
2.
right.
Okay? Don't ask too much of me here, Tony.
Here's a photo from Walter. Man Running is titled, and that is the first thing my eye goes to. But at the same time, it's a very small part of the frame. I also wonder if it might be oversaturated a little bit because it was probably a very dark day, so I bet there probably wasn't a huge amount of natural color in the image.
Yeah, and it was raining, so it was probably a gray, overcast, flat day.
But there is good subject separation. He's
Yes.
against just a blank part of the street, and I think that really helps. Good shot, Walter.
Wow, I always wanted to go here.
Oh man, this is gorgeous.
This spot is beautiful. I love her bright red dress against the dark background. Really beautiful posing. great colors.
Yeah, I can see King has a flash position behind them because you can kind of see the way the lines are showing up here points directly to the flash. Oh, you're trying to take out some of the Dutch tilt,
Oops,
huh?
sorry.
King is using a deliberate Dutch tilt there, which we just talked about. That he's got that sort of deliberate angle in there to make it more dynamic.
I don't know. I think I don't want to mess up his composition, but I can't see much of the people. Like I almost want to crop in Tony Northrup style just to see more of their faces and more of their expression, which is still good. You crop in and it's still a good photo.
Yeah, depends. If this is for Instagram, this is the crop you'd use. If you were making a big panoramic print that you wanted to sell your clients.
Whoa, Dan, this photo is beautiful. Winter dog walker. Look at this leading line of the path. You must have, what's your f-stop number? Yeah, F11, you're getting that beautiful starburst. So if you don't know, to get a starburst in your photo, you want to use a higher aperture number like F11, F16, depends on your lens and the situation. So you have that balancing the composition, this beautiful leading line, beautiful flowers, beautiful light, subject separation. Look, even though it's a very cluttered scene, the main subjects don't have things behind them.
Great shot, Dan. I like that a lot.
I'm giving a pick. I love this one. So cute.
Oh, this is like Renaissance lighting. This is so gorgeous.
Cats are beautiful. Massimo. Beautiful photo, gorgeous lighting. You nailed the focus. And you nailed the exposure too. You didn't overexpose the fur. We can still see some beautiful soft texture. The whiskers look really good. You're at f2.2, but it still looks great. Sometimes I find with animals, people make the depth of field too shallow and then you lose certain elements of the photo, but it looks great. I'm giving it a pick. It's a beautiful cat photo.
Like a painting. Perfect.
Yeah.
Great job. And I love just the vignetting around the whole thing.
We should do a pet photo episode next.
Okay.
Vancouver sunrise.
Dimitri, I love the balance of the sun versus the boats. Like you sort of use the rule of thirds to align things. Very nice. I almost wonder if you couldn't, well, obviously you couldn't push forward unless you wanted to get your feet wet. A 25-second exposure. I'm actually surprised the boats are as sharp as they are at 25 seconds. Usually boats go back and forth a little bit. It must have been a completely still day.
Do you think he blended?
Yeah, maybe he blended a couple of different shots. Because if you look, the reflections of the masts do show some movement in the water, but the masts themselves do not.
Oh, yeah. Interesting.
Oh, yeah, we see a little evidence of post-processing there as you change that.
Still intelligently done, well done.
Yeah.
I'm just looking, one thing I might consider doing to add a little more contrast to the scene is taking some of the blue out of the whites because it's very blue on blue on blue. And if you were to go in and just select, let's say, the boats and make them bright white, then you're getting some contrast between the water and the sky and the subject. Just one thing to think of, but I like it. It's peaceful. Who are these little cool spooky guys?
Yeah, this almost reminds me of the documentary photographer who took photos and ultimately ended the tenement housing in New York City. His name
was something. I can't remember right now.
I mean, obviously this is more of a fun portrait than documentary photography, but I love the toning on here. It's almost monochrome. Their expressions are great. The lighting is awesome. I'm going to give this one a pick.
I like it too. Jose, one thing that I would suggest is that I don't know the intention of the photo right now. It looks like it could be for a band. They look cool. They're kind of posing nonchalantly. The processing, also very good, but looks like it could be for a scary movie or scary scene. So I would just ask you, only you really know, is it supposed to be like a cool band photo? Then I might just dial back the spookiness, unless that's their thing. If it's supposed to be for a scary scene, I would say maybe just giving them more intense facial expressions or maybe having their pose be more of an action pose.
Regarding camera settings, you're at ISO 2000 and 1/1000th of a second, and you could have shot this at ISO 100 and 1/30th of a second or whatever that would have been. So something to think about.
Oh, Rod. I see a lot of things that I like here. A very relaxed pose. There's something really high fashion about this to me. Um,
Yeah, it does have a very high fashion feel. I almost wish the lighting were a little bit more deliberate. She has what I usually call raccoon eyes, which is sort of the shadows that you get over your eyes when there's overcast sunlight coming down. And somebody with a reflector just bouncing in a little bit of fill light would have made all the difference here. Some amount of work you can do in post. Chelsea's
Excuse
trying
me.
to demonstrate that, just brightening up the eyes a little bit. But it's not the most flattering light. It also really accentuates any texture in the skin. So a little bit of front light
I'm
would be
actually
better.
that I overdid it, the eyes, but I'm actually really liking how natural and simple this is, and that's not something I get to see a lot. All of the time I'm seeing over processed skin, overdone lighting, glam, glam, glam to the extreme, and this is like refreshing to me. This is like a glass of water to me. It's simple, it's beautiful, it's natural. I actually like the imperfections. I'm so tired of seeing skin just smoothed out until it looks alien. Like, I love this. I'm giving it 5 stars.
Yeah, and I love the simple color palette of it, almost monochromatic, really no distractions, and the model is very good. It's
Yeah.
actually very hard to get a good, solid expression and gaze like that out of somebody. Don't underestimate how valuable that really is. So keep working with her. It's a great shot.
I actually think like I might have ruined it when I touched it because it's just so simple. But yeah, good job. I like it.
Wow.
Ooh. Oh.
The color feels so unnatural to me. Zoom in here.
We got good photos today. I missed seeing everyone's photos. Did you?
Yeah, me too.
I was looking forward to talking to the peeps too, but
Well,
I don't know what happened to our stream. It was so
as
sad.
they're watching this, we'll be in the comments.
Oh yeah.
So people will actually be talking to us. Indie Flame. The colors here are just beautiful.
Wait, we didn't even tell the person how good they are.
Oh, okay.
I want to talk to Peter. That's how you say it, Peter. I love the depth in this photo. I like that you got the guy in the foreground. He's darker. I start to explore the scene a little bit more, and there's more guys fishing back there. I do wonder if maybe this little like, boop, if that should be
I was
taken
thinking
out.
about cutting that out.
I'm not
yeah.
sure. I don't. I can cover it with my finger. You know what? I think it actually looks better in. It kind of grounds the photo.
Yeah, it does add some interest. It makes you wonder about it.
Like what else is in there? Great. I'm going to give it a pick.
Okay.
There's no difference between 5 stars and a pick, by the way. It's just I do whatever. What do you think of Peggy's Cove by Andy?
I really like the simple color palette, the way the colors almost mirror between the boat and the house. My biggest gripe is compositional, and it might have been unavoidable because on the left side we have the house is almost right next to the edge of the frame, and I wish there were a little more space. But I see that there's some ugly buildings back there, so maybe that was impossible. I don't know if it's going to work to like crop halfway into the house, maybe. No, I don't love that.
No, it didn't work.
I definitely see this in the real world where you find some scene that's so perfect, except there's one thing wrong with it and there's no moving to a better spot. This might be a good fog plan because the only way to eliminate that building in the background would be fog.
Oh.
So the next time it gets foggy, make a note, head back here, and maybe everything will be lined up or maybe stuff will still be wrong.
I think a little processing can bring this one to the next level.
Yeah,
too.
good job, Andy.
Kevin. This
Clouds,
is so
simple.
pretty. The
Yeah.
colors, the movement, the texture. I'm wondering.
Yeah, I feel like it could have been a little brighter.
I mean, I understand you didn't want to lose the detail. I respect you not going too bright, but maybe a little brighter. That'd be a beautiful print. I'd love to see a series of those. If you had a series of cloud photos and you put them in like a triptych or something, or a group of 4
Yeah,
prints.
great idea.
That'd be so beautiful.
Patrick Seagrave.
Why are these deer mocking
Deer
our
in a
deaths?
cemetery.
Deer are like that. Look at this one. He still has his little fuzzy antlers.
I definitely think it's an interesting scene, and maybe it says something that the deer are just going about their day with absolutely no regard for the fact that this is a cemetery.
Those are the only people that won't hurt them, Tony.
Could be.
Interesting.
I wouldn't hurt them.
They don't know that. Highlights are a little blown, but
Yeah, I think the sky is really pretty, and if you could have exposed it in such a way as to not blow out those highlights, shoot raw, expose for the highlights, and then recover the shadows in post. If you have a raw file, you might be able to do it. Oh, no, you're shooting with a phone, so.
I'm also just going to move the tint towards magenta because I'll show you before and after. The building is white and it looked green. A lot of the whites were looking green. So this little guy. How do you do that?
Okay.
Wait, what is happening? What is happening?
It's just a hummingbird, but
how is it on an all white background?
yeah, that is a
Joseph,
good
what are you doing?
question. I wonder, maybe he edited it. I don't see any
Edited it?
traces of editing, but edited it.
We've been alone for a while.
Great shot. Oh, this is cool.
Incense sticks. Wow, what
I
a
love this.
cool perspective.
I feel like I want to raise or lower the white point a little bit, just brighten it up some.
Lower the white point?
Yeah, raise the white point, go the other way, yeah.
Raise the white point.
Yeah, just to make it a little brighter, a little more
Pop.
contrasty.
Pick.
Awesome shot.
Aw. This is beautiful.
Yeah, it really is. I love
Look at this leading line
how the beam
inviting
is
me.
kind of broken. Yeah, this one deserves 5 stars and a pick. 5 stars.
You're giving both.
Pick.
You
Great
know
shot.
what? All right, just stick with me. I might be making a mistake, but what if this foreground is just a little too green looking? I think the exposure was right. And if you press O, you can see your mask. Tony, how do you feel? Like, was it too green tint? I didn't really get rid of it very good.
Sorry, I'm totally distracted now thinking about the processing because it must be a composite photo.
Yeah.
You're saying it's at 1/10 of a second, but we have that bright light and the stars visible in the background, so it must be a composite. Sometimes I feel the need to declare a photo a composite since this is a learning forum, and
Yeah.
I would want people to not look at this and think, okay, I can go out and shoot a lighthouse at 1/10 of a second and I'm going to see this sort of spinning effect from the light. You probably won't get that at 1/10 of a second. Just to be aware.
Just
Great shot.
to be aware. I think, it's tough. You got some flat light happening here.
Yeah, and
But I like that they look like friends.
it's the balance of the photo that bugs me. I think this would work better in a square or vertical 8x10 format.
Let's test it.
Because it's all left heavy, right? Everything's going on, and yeah. That's much better, right? I think you could even do vertical, but
It's cute.
great job.
I
Perfect
moved
for
on.
Instagram.
Pat.
This is so cool.
This is very
I've never done any
interesting.
sort of like full body painting like that. I love the costume and the pose is really interesting. Zombie serene. Never seen any zombies that were like solid gold.
A solid gold zombie. It's a thing. I don't know what to say. I think it's interesting.
Yeah, it's
But I don't-
definitely striking.
I'd like to see a little storytelling going on, like put it in context a little more, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's nice.
It
trying
definitely
to
made me think
offer-
like, what is going on here?
Yeah. I'm trying to offer constructive criticism, but it is just nice. Jordan Allen.
Oh,
Beautiful
this is
colors.
gorgeous. I just want to see a little more of the ground because it's cropped so weirdly at the bottom.
I don't think you do. Look at down here.
Well, I got to see more or less of it, right? Because it just,
Tortilla burger.
okay, maybe
Oh
I need
gosh,
to
I'm
see
so
a
hungry.
little bit less of the ground. Maybe what you need to do is to compose the shot so that we only see the sort of hazy mountains. Or maybe, you can raise the camera up or find a different viewpoint.
Oh, I like that better.
Okay, good.
But in that crop, I would have never known there was a tortilla burger. So you have to consider everything. Whoa. I've been seeing a lot of
Hello.
astronaut photography lately. I saw Manny's. Did you see Manny's astronaut shoot?
Oh, I did.
Oh, it was
Yeah, it looks great.
cool. It was really good.
He is all blurry, like he's moving really fast or something, but it's okay.
Oh,
just
it's a
real
motorcycle
photo.
helmet.
Yeah, but he's still just
I
walking.
thought you posed the person.
Oh, you're saying this is not an astronaut shoot? I still had in my head that it was an astronaut
No,
shoot.
he said the astronaut, so that's all I could see. You're right. It looks
Oh.
like an astronaut. Paulo?
I think it's
Paulo?
a cool shot. I might just crop in from the bottom a little bit. I would think about balancing the negative space above the astronaut and the space below the
I
reflection.
love it so much. I'm giving him a pick.
It is pick worthy.
Whoa.
This is gorgeous.
Look at you. You must be patient. I bet you took a lot of shots at this spot. Pick. Your patience paid off. Interesting light. I like that. She's got the fur collar hood thing going on. And that's a nice way to frame your subject's face, Joseph.
I think to take this next level, you think of a story and have your model there pose or interact with the lights in some way. Because I feel like Joseph saw these lights and was like, hey, cool, Annie, go stand next to those lights. And Annie went and just kind of stood there, shoulder square to the camera and looked at the camera. But you know what I mean?
Annie put on fake lashes. There's no way Annie just
Why
showed
you gotta
up.
call Annie out like that?
'Cause she looks good.
Maybe she's got great lashes.
I can't put them on like that. She's got this beautiful fur hood. Her hair is like curled looking pro.
Yeah, her styling is lit.
Her styling
But
is good.
I'm saying her posing could use a little more, and that responsibility falls on the photographer because I don't feel like Annie here is a professional model, but the photographer could
Wait,
direct her
what?
a little bit.
Why'd you call her Annie?
I don't know. I know Joseph's name, but I don't know her name. I'm sure it feels very weird to her if she sees that. Sorry, whatever your name is.
Daniel.
Daniel.
Gorgeous. I love it. Good colors. Nice composition. I like that you did a long exposure so it has this very soft, dreamy look. Let's check out over here. I see some things.
Things, yeah.
There's a lot of overexposed elements, and you could have dealt with that by blending multiple exposures. And in fact, depending on your camera, you might be able to go in and bring all of those clipped highlights down.
Yeah, so I think what's happened is you had such drastically different exposures between the bright city on the right and the dark sky in the background that you maybe brought the highlights down to try to balance a little bit better, but then you ran into some artifacts. So instead of trying to adjust it for the entire photo, I would use gradients and make sure that you still clip the whites on those lights. Like they should still be clipped. They should be 100% bright where that big bright white light is.
Braden Werner, he is a learner. I'm bored, Tony.
I feel like we need just something more in the shot. Like I like that there are no distractions in it. It's a straightforward picture. It's not cluttered, but it just needs something else to make my eye rest on it.
I made it black and white so I could do something. Okay. Let's see if you have any. Well, you've got a little cloud detail there. I'm going to bring up the contrast so that we have contrast.
Yeah. Yeah, this is one of the most beautiful shots of Copenhagen I've ever seen.
Don't. Tony, now is not the time. Okay. Oh.
Oh, this is so close and so close. It's just, here's what we need to do. We need to get push in a little bit so that the skier is above the trees. And that would make the photo so much more powerful. And I know that's really hard because you have to anticipate where they're going to be ahead of time, which means you have to do multiple different runs probably.
He's so low. Look at this corner right here.
Yeah, getting low is good. If you can't get lower, push forward a little bit, shoot a little bit wider angle.
I'm giving it a pick. I think it's beautiful.
It is.
I love the processing too. You should be really picky with your friend and be like, could you get a yellow outfit? That'd work for me. Okay.
Oh man, this is a gorgeous scene. This definitely looks like a crater, right?
Yeah, it does. Whoa, there's people.
Maybe a volcano. Oh, wow.
Beautiful. Really nice. Maybe a tad over saturated.
I feel like if you're going to include the sun in the frame like that, then you need to go to F22.
You want to burst?
Starburst it.
Okay.
Even if you have to blend multiple shots. Otherwise, it feels a little weird that the
Starburst.
sun is just a big blob there.
This is really interesting, Kevin. I've seen a lot of photos of this building, but this one's different.
This upper right corner there, I don't know if your lens hood was tilted a little bit, but I would either crop it out or clone it out.
Come on.
My eye went right there and just stayed there.
There, Tony.
Thank you.
Whoa.
The symmetry here is great.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
In fact, I wonder if you couldn't have had him move over so that he was directly between those two.
Tony.
Okay, I mean, I'm supposed to provide constructive criticism. It's an awesome shot. Great shot. Nice job.
Can you imagine if a guy blew fire in front of you and you were like, could you do that again?
Yeah, I need you to take 1/2 step to your left.
What is this, Jamie? What is this? I'm going to peek.
I don't know.
Oh, it's a shed by the water. I thought
Oh.
you put a box in snow on your porch or something, but then I was like, no, it doesn't. That doesn't make sense. Yeah.
I love this. It's like almost abstract, almost contemplative, or maybe fully. Maybe I should say
Pick.
honest. But
What? Why'd you say but?
I wanted to just crop it a little bit. Let me just block the aspect ratio.
Goodness.
Here's the thing, it's a little bit unbalanced, right? I just kind of want it to be more perfectly in the rule of thirds.
Oh.
I find that so satisfying. Oh my goodness. Look at this guy.
Why, he's so cute. Pick.
Whoa. Okay.
Oh my gosh, the little expression, the fingers gently patting. Really sweet.
Yeah, very cute. Whoa.
Very cool. You have this mini look going on. Very interesting.
Yeah,
What's happening?
You know, I hate the way Lightroom handles this, but we have to zoom into 1:1, and then I think
And then
that's
it will
what you want.
make life happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now we should be able to switch back and forth.
It's
Yeah, I guess it is
Wow.
a post-processing effect.
but it's still cool.
But it is cool, yeah.
Very cool. Otherwise, if you hadn't done that effect, I think it would have been hard to make this building stand out with that chaos behind it. So good job. Oh, like a bird.
This is fantastic.
You
I'm going to
told-
give this one a pick. This is such a cute story.
Yeah, that's cool. Beautiful light. Really nice.
Yeah. Oh, this is a great street photo. I love the close, intimate connection that you have with the girl. Great shot, Alexander.
Me. Interesting. You captured an interesting moment. I could see this being in a local paper, you know, talking about like the weekend events or something like that.
Yeah, talking about behavior that is totally unacceptable at this moment in history.
Well, I think those are free samples.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Oh, sorry for a moment.
Yeah, for a moment you
I
forgot,
forgot where.
which was the whole goal of this.
Yeah, way to snap me back, Tony.
This
Tom
is a
Perry.
gorgeous shot,
This
Terry.
is very cool.
I
Can't even believe it, Terry. Tom.
I think this is a single exposure, and that's pretty remarkable to have such a bright headlight and still be able to pull out the stars like that,
Wait.
especially with some clouds.
Wait, for real? This is real?
I think it's a single exposure. Are you seeing anything that indicates it's multiple exposures blended?
I'm just amazed. Amazing. Wait, I didn't give you a pick. There you go, Tom.
I like this shot a lot. It's the hand on the wheel that really makes it look great, right?
Yeah, it tells a little story, and you can see, once you look closer, you see the brass is worn down low where people can reach, so people are doing that. Ooh. Ian Knight, very smooth, dreamy, a little unbalanced. Maybe we could.
You know what's bugging me about it? I feel like that person is posing for somebody else because the model here is not facing the camera. They're a little bit off angle, and it feels weird to me.
Yeah, I think you.
But still, it's very cool.
What?
Whoa. Okay, Elizabeth, this is beautiful. The exposure is great. You have that catch light in the eyes. I have never seen a dog or bat or whatever this
That's
is.
a papillon.
Oh,
And that's what their little ears look like.
okay.
Beautiful.
Papillon.
I think that's what it's called. You can tell me later when we chat, Elizabeth. Nice, a nice portrait.
Yeah, it looks like it was shot through a fence though, and that's a little bit distracting to me.
I wish that he was looking and also making eye contact, because it would make the connection in the picture stronger.
I don't mind a mixed eye contact, but I wish you were looking a little more towards the camera, like off to the photographer's
Yeah.
left shoulder maybe. And I wish the distance between their heads and their feet was a little more balanced, because it just needs to be cropped in from the bottom a little bit.
But I mean, we're focusing on the negative now. Like, it's beautiful, beautiful scene. I
yeah.
love the flowers.
Just to make it clear.
The background, the lighting. Like, this is a gorgeous, gorgeous photo.
Yeah, great lighting on it.
But that's just the one thing that I noticed right away, is he looks a little bit disengaged, but beautiful. This is a really nice photo too. Whoa, that's a cool spot. Use some
that's
natural
really
framing.
Cool framing.
Tony, you want to take pictures of these little guys too?
Yeah. Oh, a nice family portrait, but like nobody's looking at the camera. It seems like the little kid at the bottom is trying to interrupt everything. It can be really tough to
this
get.
looks hard to do. I think you want to be careful, make sure the skin tones have some contrast so that the whole photo is not washed out, which can happen, especially in black and white. So you just have to be a little careful. Tony, are we going to go through every picture? Because we got to go watch this with people.
See. Oh my God, we have.
There's a lot
I
of
thought
pictures.
we were almost done. Okay, let's take a look at a couple more pictures.
Okay.
And then we'll get out of here.
Is this real?
It's adorable. I'm going to give it a pick.
It's really cute. Oh. Oh my gosh.
Oh, and this one deserves a pick too.
Oh my gosh, I'm glad we didn't end the show before we saw that little guy. Oh my gosh. Beautiful lighting. I think the depth of field is perfect. You get this creamy background that gives you some subject separation. Gorgeous shot.
And
really
at
beautiful.
1/50th of a second, that's great.
This is a cool shot. I like the people sitting there.
Okay.
Good color
great.
contrast. You got someone in orange with a mostly green scene. Very cool. I like that. It's got like a good feel to it.
Cute shot.
Yeah, he looks happy. People have figured out that we have a soft spot for animals. This
Michael,
is
this lighting is
beautiful.
gorgeous.
Pick.
Absolutely
Amazing.
gorgeous. And a little scary. He's getting close.
Yeah, he's aware of you. He's
Yeah.
like, I wonder what he tastes like. Okay.
Florence skyline.
Really amazing photos. This is gorgeous. We have to go. Oh my gosh, what the heck?
Yeah, that
Stuart,
is a
be
scary
careful, Stuart.
cloud.
Stuart.
Run, Stuart. He's probably not still there.
What if he was? Okay, so we will post this and then we'll rewatch it with them. And then next time we do this, we will make the topic, should it be pet photos?
Yeah, it could be pet photos. They can go to sdp.io/submit and we'll pick a date. We'll have to make sure the live stream works properly.
We're going to try to get it to work.
Get stuff ironed out before we
That
see
made
you
me
next.
really sad. I was so happy to talk to everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad to chat with people. And we will see you all again soon. Stay healthy, stay connected. This is a great time to learn photography. So go back and go through all the tutorials we have on our YouTube channel.
Sure. Okay, see y'all next time.
Bye.
Great.